Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Thursday, the 21st of May, 2026. Looking at the synoptic, high pressure very much dominating the majority of the continent here, but still some low pressure building out to the west and the Atlantic there. Usually some highs actually up over sort of Greenland, Iceland way. And we are expecting this all to shift for the sort of next few days, giving us predominantly high pressure. For today, however, still actually vaguely high, about 1024 in our area. A little hint of this end of this warm front perhaps passing through, seeing some higher sort of thick cloud associated with that, but in general, no predominant frontal features to affect us today. Looking on the sat pic, we can see here the extent of that cloud, almost the entire UK enveloped there. Evidence of some wave in certain areas, particularly over the west coast of Ireland as well. We are expecting this to thin out progressively throughout the day, clearing behind it and leaving a fairly blue day for us. Rain radar, nothing of significance. Lots of rain up to the northern part of the country there from some of those fronts, but nothing in the south. I'm not really expecting a great deal in the south either. Just looking at the Met Office rain forecast, just running that through. See the bulk of that rain actually dissipating to the north, but remaining clear of us all throughout today and into the evening. Odium, the current observation, wind 200 degrees, 10 knots with 10 kilometer visibility, few clouds at 1900 feet and broken at 6500 feet. 3-degree split there and a pressure of 1026. Farnborough, they've got a TAF today showing 190 degrees at 5 knots, 10k viz with scattered cloud at 2500 feet. And there's a prop 30 of reduced viz this morning, 6,000 meters and broken at 800 feet, but that's expected to improve from about 9 o'clock local onwards. Winds aloft to the south of us, so southwesterly there, 15 knots of flying height, and likewise to the north. Much the same, and they're slightly brisker, so we can expect somewhere in the region of that. And on the surface, looking a little more southerly for us, a south-southwesterly flow there across the airfield. Seems to be persisting throughout the day, looking at the Met Office local forecast, although the strength reducing and becoming a little bit more southerly as the evening goes on. Maximum speed run, but this morning about 10 knots, gusting up towards 18, steadily reducing sort of from about lunchtime onwards. Very high UV warning there, up to 6, so do take care, especially with what we're expecting to be fairly blue, certainly from the afternoon once this top cover is broken up. So that is very much one to be watched. GFS showing possibly even 18 or 19 degrees in the warmest part of the day, with a dew point of 14. And presently we're up to just under 14 degrees with a dew point of 11.3. So we're on the south side, looking to the west. You can see that southwesterly flow on the windsarc there, and that fairly low clouds breaking up the thinner patches, and definitely expecting that to improve quite steadily as the morning goes on. Sky-sight cross-section, interestingly, I'm not showing any of that cloud really, a bit of upper stuff there on the picture, but nothing we're actually seeing. But they're predicting blue for the entire day. We certainly, from about 1 o'clock onwards, we can anticipate it being blue, and possibly even slightly earlier than that. Soarable blue in that period there, up to maybe just 3,500 feet. And that seems to concur with the top meteo forecast there, showing from 10 o'clock local time, starting to get soarable from about sort of late morning, fell up to 11 or 1,200 meters, so more or less an agreement there. Initially a little bit of clouds and then bluing out from the south, consistently into the evening, soarable up until about 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, and then becoming a little bit stiller and a pleasant evening for the evening group. KM No TAMS, nothing locally of significance given the forecast, nothing in terms of cross-country briefing really required. If anyone is flying cross-country, be it in a glider or in a powered aeroplane, do suggest check your own air TAMS. There's quite a bit of temporary Class D up towards Brize Norton there, along with the TMZ. Moving on now to the local briefing. So glider bookings, then we've got two K21s today on the 5-day courses. Also got a K21 and a K13 for booked instructional flying. Got K21 for the casualist, K13 for trial lessons, and plenty of single-seater availability. Couple of days left of the Vintage Gliding Club week here. Should be some more flying today after a couple of slow days for them, given the wind. So do come out to the launch point, get involved. Not expecting any movements today. And a reminder about the buoy expedition. So in summary, we've got high pressure to the east, but low pressure remaining to the west with some associated frontal features, although not expecting any particularly adverse effects of those. But the overcast initially likely becoming blue and locally soarable by late morning, early afternoon, and with a moderate south-southwesterly flow throughout the day. Given it's moving throughout, or moving to the south as well, for the evening, we're going to operate runway 23 to begin with cables on the east side. And there's our airfield setup there. As always, avoid landing or taxiing across the disused runways, landing well into the field, and wind shear from the east, air attaining from the west. That's all for me this morning. We'll see you out there very shortly. Let's make the most of the weather today and keep it safe.